Blogger Jenna Carvinitis is credited with having started the craze of publicly revealing your baby's sex that we commonly refer to as gender reveals. On July 25th, 2008, her post sharing the cutting of a cake that revealed a pink interior went viral on Facebook. Since then, many social media users have become obsessed with publicly and extravagantly revealing the sex of their little bundle of joy. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. What once was as simple as cutting a cake or maybe popping some balloons has become a game of one-upmanship that has led to dangerous spectacles with deadly consequences. Today, we're talking about disastrous gender reveals.
Bravo. Excellent topic.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was very timely. You know, here we are, you expecting a little bundle of joy.
Yes.
We don't know what little baby squish is going to be, but
I'm
here's
feeling
what
a boy.
Not to do.
Bailey thinks it's a girl.
I
Yeah.
do. I do.
We shall
But
see.
to start with a little personal gender reveal story, not my own. We did not do a gender reveal.
I was going to say, if you did one, I didn't know about it.
No. We live next to or nearby a park. Andrew and I walk there frequently, and a couple months back we were walking and we spy this couple that's like looking very lovey-dovey in the park, and they have this giant metal box in front of them, and I was like, ice cream. They're selling ice cream.
A couple is selling ice cream in the park?
A couple selling ice cream in the park. They weren't. A few seconds later, as we were walking by, the top opens and streamers fly out. It's a girl. But they all got caught in the trees above them. And, like, they took their pictures, they took their video, they left, they took their silly little ice cream box, and the streamers remained there for weeks. And I gotta tell you, it irked me. It really irked me.
Yeah, I think it might have been this neighborhood when we moved to Omaha, and we were taking a walk one day, and it was just blue confetti everywhere. I was like, oh, that really grates my cheese. I really don't like...
That is not very environmentally friendly. I would like to take your gender reveal paraphernalia. Do it. Happy for you. Love that you didn't do one of the things that I'm about to talk about and the other
no
disasters.
Fires, no nothing
fires,
like that. But
no explosives. I love that for you. But clean up after yourself. Leave no trace, people.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Or it like blows over someone's fence and then they end up with all... Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah. I have
Same
thoughts about... Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
That's just, I had to start this off with a personal anecdote because this is actually something, even though ironically, having had a child, not my own personal gender reveal, but you know, I think we've all encountered a gender reveal in our day.
That was my one encounter. I'm not a gender reveal kind of gal, although I was so desperate for the pregnancy experience that I was not getting the first time around during COVID that I was like, okay, Ryan, I'm gonna get a little egg, like a little paper mache egg, and I'm gonna fill it with confetti, and I'm gonna ship it to all of our friends and family, and we'll all open it at the same time.
Like a Fabergé egg. You're like, what's Fabergé eggs? And I was like, if you have the willpower to do Fabergé eggs, okay.
I was just so desperate to get to have, like, I was so sick, and we were all locked down, and I just wanted to have, like, one pregnancy experience. So I understand the hype, the celebration, I get it. But that was the closest I came to wanting to do a gender reveal. And ultimately, Ryan gave me space to explore that, and then I decided against it. Yeah, it was smart on his part. Okay. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Please continue.
No. You weren't interrupting. This is all about, this is a conversation, is what this is. I think the moral of today's stories, we've got a lot of gender reveals to talk, disastrous gender reveals to talk about here today. It's to stay safe, keep yourself safe, to keep your family safe, and to generally, keep your surroundings safe.
Keep the environment safe.
Keep the environment safe. Keep your surroundings in mind. With that, the first category is forest fires.
Oh, good. Great.
On Labor Day weekend in 2020, a couple ignited a, quote, smoke-generating pyrotechnic device to announce the sex of their baby. No word on what color it was, because shortly after, nearby 4-foot grass caught fire and quickly ballooned into a fire that took over 2 weeks
Oh
to
my
extinguish.
gosh.
It ultimately scorched 20,000 acres of land in Southern California, one of a couple of fires they were fighting that summer. Killed one firefighter and injured 2.
How do you
Yes.
live with your actions after that? Like, how do you know if they faced legal consequences for starting that fire?
I do. To date, I believe they've been charged. I don't know if they have been convicted or sentenced, but yes, I don't have what they were charged. Well, I think one was like involuntary manslaughter because of the death of a firefighter, but then
Sure.
also, the damages of the, and it's just again, just like, be so careful. Be so careful, because that wasn't their intention. It's such a joyous time. You're doing it to celebrate, but just like it's
Yeah, you have to think of the 100% worst case scenario and just operate under the
yes.
assumption that that's going to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
And
how
I'm not sure, like, operate all times in life.
Yeah, that's what I do every day of my life.
Yes. Evaluate, assess the room. Yeah. And then with less loss of life, but still just as catastrophic, just a few years earlier, I believe this was 2017, 45,000 acres in Arizona was decimated when a man fired a rifle at an explosive mixed with colored powder, because that's how gender reveals work, starting a fire that took 800 firefighters to extinguish. 45,000 acres in Arizona.
Good Lord.
Lots of acres.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were actually fined like $8 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much of that money is actually how much of that is actually gonna be seen? But good. You need to face consequences after doing something like that, but
yeah.
These wildfires scare the poop out of me. I gotta be honest. Wildfires are starting. Every time I see something about, Australia was on fire for a while. California is on fire all the time.
Perpetually. Yeah.
Yeah. It scares me so very much. I'm sure it does everyone, but I just, that's awful. That's so terrible. And they
said when I was reading this, it actually said, because California, just the West United States, is so prone to wildfires, but that like 50% of them are started by, are man-made in California. The other half, lightning strikes and like other natural causes, but like lightning strikes.
Interesting.
Pretty big. Yeah, I thought so too. But I mean, the other man-made percent, maybe it was like 40-something%, but it was like cigarettes and
don't smoke,
explosive
people.
Things like,
don't do it.
Explosive things such as this. But we're done with forest fires. There have been other forest fires, but we're done.
Sure.
Those are the really, those thousands and thousands of acres. Those are like the biggies.
Yeah.
Moving on to explosives.
Oh, good.
Adjacent. Forest fire adjacent.
Forest fire. Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes it's not the risk of fire, but the actual explosion that is the danger, which, as I say that out loud, seems
obvious.
Like an obvious statement. Yeah. Yes. But in 2019, a man loaded up 80 pounds of an explosive called Tennarite.
I am familiar with Tennarite.
Yes.
I know some college boys who would shoot at Tennarite.
Yes. They are very popular as shooting targets, Tennarite, just as a material. And this guy loaded up 80 pounds of it in I say abandoned quarry. I don't know that it was abandoned. I'm assuming someone wouldn't, an operating commercial quarry wouldn't just let someone mosey onto their property with explosives like this and for this purpose. But what do I know? In New Hampshire. And as you might have guessed, things didn't go well. Although no one was injured, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
The blast was so large that people in neighboring towns were startled, to say the least.
You said it was 80 pounds?
80 pounds.
That's a lot of Tennarite.
It is.
I think, right? That seems...
Well, for reference, Tennarite makes what is called gender reveal boom boxes that contain 1 pound of Tennarite.
Okay. Yeah. So 80 is a lot. 80 is too much.
It's much. It's much.
Unless you are having 80 babies, you are not needing 80 pounds.
You are not entitled to 80 babies worth of Tennarite.
Oh my gosh. I find it kind of hilarious that Tennarite makes gender reveal boxes.
I know. When because I was like, when they said 80 pounds, I thought, well, I'm not familiar enough with it to understand, what's an average amount of Tannerite, right? And sure enough, one of the articles that I read said, just so you know, they make a gender reveal. Apparently, this is a popular thing to do. They make a gender reveal box.
That is so funny. I mean, I think 80 does. When I was in college, I was in the agricultural college at my university, and so I was around a lot of people. I do like dirt. Love a good dirt. But a lot of the guys in my college and in my major and everything, they were big on shooting and going into the mountains because we lived in Arkansas, and I think I remember them talking about like 1 to 5 pounds of Tenorite and things like that. And I had no frame of reference. I didn't know what Tenorite was until they started talking about it, because we did not grow up knowing any of that stuff.
No, and I'm still very ignorant. I'm like, okay, it's something you use to shoot, but it's not, like you said, not something that I'm like, oh, I have a frame of reference as to what, the average person might take to go out shooting or whatever.
Yeah. But wow, okay, I've learned something new. This time, should I want to try a gender reveal, I'll hit up Tenorite's website and see what...
And you can. They still sell them, I checked. Because I was like,
oh my gosh,
I need to see this for myself. And sure enough, I went to the Tannerite website and I was like, it is called a boombox.
A boombox. That's
clever.
Brilliant. That's great.
Clever. Very clever. Yes.
For as uninterested as I am in my own gender reveal, or my baby's gender reveal, I guess not mine, I'm a woman, but I, on Instagram, do somehow stumble upon these accounts that all they do is compile gender reveals that they've found on social media, and I can get lost looking at some of these. Some of them are pretty creative. Some of them I'm like, God, that's so anticlimactic. That's so lame.
Well, that's a lot of the articles that I found discussing these. That's part of what they said, because in the era of social media, it is not, you can't just, like the first woman who's kind of credited with the birth of this idea, you can't just settle it cutting a cake, popping a balloon. It's an ongoing, competition of spectacle that social media creates with gender reveals. So,
well, you know what? I'm not a competitive person, and my egg idea was fine in my book.
But you're watching them. That's the thing. You're watching them, and you're being judgy about those that
I know.
aren't flashy enough, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole idea.
I know. I am being so flashy. One that I've been seeing lately is like the mom and dad to be will stand at like a little okay, here's my pregnancy brain coming in. An IV pole, whatever that would be, with like a bag of what looks like saline, and they take, I think it has saline, and it's the only thing hanging from the pole, and so I have to assume mom or dad is in healthcare or something, and so they take a little syringe and plug it into the IV bag, and it's blue or pink, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, points for creativity, sure. Yes. But it's a tiny bag in a room full of people, and I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. But points for creativity. Before you
create your next gender reveal, just know Madison is not into the IV bag, so do better. Madison's not into it.
I'm so impressed by some of the things that I see. Although I will say, nothing irks me more than a prolonged, drawn-out gender reveal where they're like, we're going to crack 12 eggs and see which one. And I'm like, we know it's the last egg. Just skip to the end.
Okay. I gotta be honest. I had not watched that many gender reveals before putting this story together. So the fact that you are an avid consumer of them really brings me joy, because you know far more about this than I do.
I know too much, because I genuinely am not that interested in doing it myself. It's always fun. I'm not judging them for celebrating anything. I'm judging them because I'm a judgy person, and I judge the type of reveal they do. Yeah. Judge Moody. That is me. Moody. Yeah, just some of them, I don't know. I have been seeing one lately, though, where, mom and dad stand in front of, like, the table with, like, a cake on it, celebrating at a party, and they've got an umbrella, or, like, a really pretty parasol kind of thing, closed upside down, and then they turn it upright and open it, and all this little confetti rains down on them, and it's really cute. I'm like, I would for sure let it fall out as I'm trying to lift it up, but it looks really cute. It's a good idea.
That's also kind of there has to be some sort of storytelling terminology there where you think they're going to cut the cake and reveal something, but the next thing you know, what I thought you were going to say was it looks like they're going to cut the cake and someone like throws a colorful pie in their face, like a blue or a pink pie in their face. That's what I thought you were going to say. You can credit me with that idea should you decide to use that.
That's a beautiful idea. There is one video that I think was just popular because it's really, really funny. There was a large family. It looked like extended family. They were all outside. They were going to pop the big black balloon so you can't see inside of it. And so they pop it. And I think it was either like white confetti or so. Like it was not blue or pink. And so the mom is like kind of looking around. She was like, well, what? Did you guys get the wrong one? Did you tell them what it was for? And then the grandma, who was standing next to the person recording, they pan to her and she takes off her wig and her hair is blue. It was so funny. It was just like, it's great. It's great.
That's good.
She's like, you guys are going to make me lose my mind. Like took her wig off and it was great. 10 out of 10, comedic timing, beautiful gender reveal.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's a story. You know what? That's how you could really go big. Instead of like doing the explosive route and like the visually, you could go big with the story. Yeah. Just to avoid heartbreak.
But here's my last one that I'm going to bring in and then I will let you continue. This is another one I have really strong.
I am so glad I brought this up because you have so many thoughts about this.
I have so many thoughts about this. If I see another like wrestling match between two grown people in blow-up baby costumes, one girl and one boy, I'm gonna lose my mind. Have you seen these before? They, like, the big...
I'm sorry, what?
So you know they have, like, the inflatable T-Rex costume that everyone does, like, that's really popular? Okay, so, like, similar material, they have a gigantic baby costume. And then it has, like, a pink bonnet or, like, a blue diaper or something on it. But these people will have two big babies, a boy and a girl, come out and like wrestle each other to the ground, and then whoever wins, that's the reveal. I am done. I am over it. I do not like it. I don't want to see it. I'm done.
This, to me, suggests you've seen multiple of them.
I have, and I'm not into it. Okay. I don't like it.
Judge Moody has spoken. No more baby fights. No more baby fights.
No more baby fight club. It's not cute.
No more baby fight club.
I don't know anyone personally who's done that. But I just look it up and you'll agree with me. Not good.
It didn't show up in my search for disastrous gender baby reveals.
Well, I wouldn't call them disastrous.
But you are kind of calling them disastrous, actually.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
Continue.
Your own like judgy blog where it's like, this is a disaster. This is what I think is a disaster.
Oh my gosh.
Never again.
I didn't realize I had such strong feelings about
I'll be honest,
different gender.
I did not either.
You can never go wrong with the cake, the cupcakes, like the balloon pop. You can't go wrong with anything like that. Again, I give points for creativity. I do not like Baby Fight Club. I don't like it.
Please, dear best friends, take note. No Baby Fight Club.
No Baby Fight Club. Okay, please continue.
Madison's not into it.
I'm so sorry. Please keep going.
No. I'm not exactly going to cover. This will be less uplifting in the explosives category because there are a few instances where, in trying to build these explosive devices to reveal colorful powder, they've actually kind of built a pipe bomb. Essentially. Oh
no!
Yes. That sent shrapnel in directions, killing bystanders, and in one instance, a grandma-to-be in Iowa in 2018.
I think I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah, 2018, and then a father-to-be in New York just recently in 2021.
That's awful.
Mm-hmm. Be so careful.
Mm-hmm.
Be so careful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I do not trust myself to use explosives in basically any way.
In any capacity, I would no. No. I don't read directions on the back of cake mixes, so I don't trust myself to, or fireworks for that matter. 4th of July is coming up, folks, and I can't trust myself to read directions. Like, I think they try and make them pretty straightforward. Look for the fuse, but like if you are like me, us perhaps, just leave it to the professionals.
Please. I'm actually terrified for July 4th on our street.
Yeah, now that I think about it, do you have plans? Are you escaping July 4th?
We are going to a get-together earlier in the day, but because Bonnie's bedtime is 7, we'll probably get back around then, which is well before sunset. And when...
It really doesn't matter. It's about... Okay, so in case you weren't with us this time last year, Madison Street is...
like the Purge.
It's like the Purge. What's that? It's chaotic. It's not chaotic neutral. It's like chaotic evil. Chaotic bad, negative.
Yeah, it's chaotic evil for sure.
It's chaotic evil. Fireworks going in all directions, everywhere. Your next door neighbor's doing them in excess, over your house, falling on your car, falling. You can hear it plunking on your roof. The like mortars. It's
Bailey even got hit in the eye with a tiny piece of smoldering,
under my eye. Yes, a little bit. And they were close enough to where I was like, I was pregnant at the time with Finley, and I was like, I asked Madison's husband is a doctor, and I was like, at what point can my baby's hearing be injured? Because my ears hurt. So can his ears be hurt? I don't know. It was very loud. It was fireworks in all directions, sensory overload. And Bob slept. I mean, she was woken up, but like, she kind of slept like a champ through a lot of it.
She did a phenomenal job. I had to, and this would be my advice to any parent with a baby on the 4th of July. I turned her sound machine up like as far as it would comfortably go. And that was the only thing. But even then, you could still hear it. She took a long time to go down. Mm-hmm. I think it seems like she did well because we put her down at like 7. And then the fireworks didn't really start until like 9. Yeah. So, but in like 2 hours, it was tough. It was touch and go. I am not looking forward to it. But I'm hoping that unfortunately there was a very grisly injury on our street last year. And so I'm hoping that maybe we will all learn some lessons and tone it down a little bit. But
a digit was lost, just so you're not hanging in the dark to your best friend.
Multiple digits were lost. Yes, thankfully no one lost their lives.
Not in Madison's house.
But... No, right, just a couple of houses down. Thankfully everyone was okay, but it's such an unfortunate accident, and it's so preventable, so be safe on the 4th of July, people, please.
Bringing it back to a disaster you might not expect, we have one final category, which is plane crashes.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
In Turkey, Texas, a city I did not know existed.
I didn't either.
Pilot Raj Horan, I think, dumped 350 gallons of colorful water. No color was mentioned. We don't know. Colorful water over a field to announce the sex of a baby's friend, who presumably was his co-pilot here, I think. Or at least a passenger in this plane. But shortly after the release, the plane lost speed and began to stall, ultimately crashing into the ground. Fortunately, he and his passenger escaped with their lives.
Good. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was a crop duster that literally, and you can go Google a disaster. Turkey, Texas is you'll find that. I don't think anything else has happened in Turkey, Texas since then. So it'll be pretty easy to find. Yeah. The gender reveal plane crash in Turkey, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
It's a pretty gruesome looking plane crash. Yeah.
Wow, I'm so glad they made it out. Was anyone standing underneath the water? Was the water like? The water was just like unclear. The showy part of it, because I have to imagine it would be unpleasant to be caught underneath that much water coming out of a plane.
Well, and it's a crop duster, so I imagine what was supposed to happen was you watch it from afar. The mechanics of this reveal were not described in depth in any of the articles that I read, but I don't know. I think you just were supposed to watch the color come down onto the field, and maybe that was
sure.
That.
I could see why that would be really fun. I get that. Okay, well...
And I hesitated to include this because I was like, this could have happened if it hadn't, like, the plane was being used for a perfectly normal, it's not because of the gender reveal that it happened, but it was kind of peculiar, so I don't know.
It is definitely peculiar. Again, points for creativity. I'm too scared to do anything. other than like cutting a cake open or cracking an egg.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I get it. I get wanting to make a spectacle out of it. I just, hindsight's always 20/20 though. I mean, they probably felt like that was a perfectly safe thing to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think he's using the plane for what it's intended. It's a crop dusting plane. Presumably it's designed
to do just that.
Release exactly what it did. Yeah, that's why it's like, I don't know that the gender reveal is to be blamed for this, but it happened during it. It's something I never thought of for a gender reveal. The last thing I have, I don't even have anything written for this. It just says, mention alligator gender reveal, ? So, in one of the videos embedded in one of the articles that I read in doing research for this, the reporter is like talking about the concept of flashy and over-the-top gender reveals, and in flashing through all these different, that they've taken from social media, this couple is standing on like green grass in front of them. It kind of looks like they're on a golf course or something, and next thing you know, there's this puff of smoke of like, I can't even remember what color it was, pink or blue smoke coming in their direction, and then you realize, you look in front of me, you're like, that green grass is moving. That's an alligator in front of them. An alligator, blue, or a crocodile. I think it's alligator. I think we have gators here.
We have alligators.
Anyway. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it sneezed at them, but there is just this couple in front of an alligator, and this puff of smoke comes in their direction, and I'm kind of thinking, like, how did this not end up in this article? There is no mention of who this couple is, how they landed on doing this. Surely that's not a pet alligator. Like, what is the story behind this video? I need to know.
I have so many questions.
I do too, and I have no answers. All questions.
Dear listener, if you know, let us know. Please.
Did you do an alligator gender reveal? Because I need to know this. I need all of my questions answered.
We have no judgments on this one. We just need answers.
Just need answers. Did he sneeze? What did he do? I don't know. I don't understand how the alligator revealed the powder or blew the powder, but it did.
I remember seeing a video of a hippo biting into a watermelon that had been hollowed out, and the inside was like blue or pink jello, which apparently was safe. But, a hippo is like huge. That mouth is, and they just like tossed that watermelon in here and one bite, and it was like a blue jello. Yeah, I think it was at a zoo. Well, it had to have been, right? At a zoo for a hippo to be. Well, yeah. I do remember people got really upset about it, but the people at the zoo were like, they like watermelon. The jello was safe. Just got a really big snack, I guess. I don't know. But again, points for creativity.
Sure.
Just, what a concept that did not exist 20 years ago that has really taken over.
And the woman, interestingly enough, she is cited in a lot of these articles, and she is also quoted as having said, I don't like any of this anymore.
I remember her saying, I remember her saying that she regrets it, and I get that. Yeah. I get that. They can be super fun. They can be really interesting. I will say, and I think I'm in the majority when I say this, the cakes are great. Cakes are fun. Like, do your cakes. Cakes are cool. But the, like, what is it, like, bows or buckshots or something like that on the top of the cake. It's just like,
yeah,
I'm over those.
Madison is coming in here with her hot takes on gender reveals. I just had no idea you were so passionate about them.
I do. I think I just watched so many of them because I think they're really fun to watch. Even if it's just popping balloons over and over. I love seeing the reactions. I love seeing people get happy and get excited about it. And it's fun to see the silly ones, even the ones that I don't like. But, yeah, they're just
watch those.
Some of my favorites, though, are, a lot of the time I see, like, the mom with a little baseball or a little soccer ball or something, pitching it to the dad or kind of rolling it to the dad for him to kick, and it's filled with powder, and I love when the dad misses. I love nothing more than when that thing falls on the ground.
Had no idea that was a thing. Had no idea this was even a thing.
Oh, it is. Another popular one right now
Oh my Wow, did I hit on a gold mine this week? I
You
had no
really
idea.
did. You really did. I didn't realize that I had so many thoughts about.
I did not either. Go ahead.
The other one I'm seeing a lot of these days is usually it's the dad, just because he lifts, like a barbell with like not that much weight on it, but like maybe 25 pounds on each side. And there are little sacks of powder right underneath where the barbell will hit. So he kind of does like a deadlift and drops it and hits the powder and then boom. And that's kind of a fun one. But I'm like, again, you've got all this powder to clean up.
Powder before he does it?
Well, I think the powder is like in a little pouch.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You're just dropping weight
no, because I have.
on.
Okay. Oh, so like the weight busts. Like he has to kind of like.
Well, he like does a deadlift and he like lifts the weight up and then just lets it drop and it hits the powder. And
gotcha.
I regret bringing this one up because you clearly are not. I'm doing a bad job of explaining.
I am just no. You are doing a great job explaining them. I cannot, but the variety of gender reveals that exist in this world are just.
It's bonkers.
Mind-blowing to me. Truly, I thought the list that I have was like it. It's if you're not exploding something and catching something on fire, you are in a plane and that is it. Or cutting a cake or popping a balloon. And that's it.
I'll tell you the other thing that really pisses me off is
oh my god. I wound Madison up. I am so sorry, dear best friends.
This is one that I really don't like either. Like I said, I really hate the unnecessarily prolonged, like, it's really funny if you pop the balloon and it was a fake out and then someone's like, oh, look over here, and then it's like blue or pink, whatever. I get that. It's fun. It's a little trick. It's like a little distraction. What I do not like is when it is so obvious that like these parents cut this cake and it's like white on the inside and then they're like, oh, what's that balloon over there doing? And I'm like, stop. We know. And then they pop the balloon and it's empty and then it's like, what's that giant baby doing outside? Like, I am so over the fake outs, the prolonged fake outs, and it's so oh, I don't like it.
This sounds like a progressively extreme like SNL skit where what's that over there? And all of a sudden it's your baby. Like, your baby's been born. Surprise! We just had your baby for you.
Yep. Yeah. It really gets me. I really dislike it. I saw one where they had a bunch of little black balloons pinned against like a white poster board and they were throwing darts and it had paint in it. It was like, great, fun, super cool. But also is like, what happens if you hit the gendered balloon on the first try? Then like, that's fine. Then and like, that's great.
But it's like, wah-wah.
Yeah, so I'm watching this couple. They hit like all 8 balloons eventually, and it took a long time. Their aim was not great. Mine wouldn't be either. It took a long time.
No, mine. But I would also never choose a reveal like that because I know we would be there all day and all night.
Exactly.
And the next day.
Yeah, exactly. So they like hit all 8 balloons, and they're like, "Oh, there is nothing in any of them." And the family's like, "What about this giant balloon?" And then they're like, oh, I hate it so much. I can't do
there you have it, folks. Do not send your gender reveals to Madison unless you are prepared for her expert criticism.
There's a girl on TikTok who reviews baby announcements and like just the pictures, and people have started sending them in, and she's like, that's all in good fun, and if you like it, that's all that matters. And ultimately that's true. As long as you're being safe and you are enjoying your reveal, that's the only thing that matters. Who cares what I think or anyone else thinks? And so her TikTok is like in the same vein, and it's just really funny to watch her review some of these baby announcements because some of them are really wacky.
By baby announcement, do you mean like
a pregnancy
we're
announcement?
Expecting? Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. They're last one that I'm gonna mention.
Oh my god! Go on.
So there is a cake, and it's obviously a layered cake. It's probably like at least 6 inches tall, 6 to 8 inches tall. and they don't cut into it. There's like a little piece of laminated paper sticking out of the top. And so they start to pull it. And as they're pulling it, it's like a tile of blue, a tile of pink, and it alternates. And then halfway, they keep pulling, and they pull. It's like feet and feet of this laminated paper. And then it's like, and then the next tile is like, and then they say, baby, and then it goes pink, blue, and they're just pulling and pulling and pulling, and it's driving me insane. And then it's like, finally like, oh boy, and I've spent 10 minutes watching you pull paper out of this cake that now no one wants to eat, because it's filled with paper.
There's no cake in there.
Yeah, I think there's a special stand that it comes with where you can, like, that stores all of that paper.
Or it's like those sprinkle cakes where they hollow them out in the center, and so instead of sprinkles, they just put paper. Yeah. I'm sure there's a way to, like, still eat the cake, but I keep watching it, and
honestly,
that cake probably has my preferred cake to frosting ratio. You would not like it. I would love that cake.
This is 85% frosting,
15%
15% cake.
frosting, and it is that's like all I want out of my cake.
Yeah. Ryan and I had our first tea party with Bonnie a couple of days ago, and it came with these little plastic cupcakes, and Ryan was like, Bonnie, we have to take all the icing off of the cupcake. Just, this icing is gross. I was like, what are you teaching her?
Okay, don't act like you don't kind of believe that just a little bit.
Oh, I am the normal person.
Anti-frosting.
I am the normal person between you two. He is anti-frosting. You are a glutton for frosting.
I will eat a tub of frosting. In fact, I have just gone to the grocery store to get a tub of frosting to eat a la mode.
I'm so proud of you. You know what? You have a sick baby. You deserve a tub of frosting.
I do deserve a tub of frosting, but right now I have brownies that I made, which are box brownies from the grocery store.
The Ghirardelli double fudge brownies can't go wrong. Yeah, they're amazing. It makes me want to throw up thinking about them right now, but under normal circumstances,
we won't
they're
talk
good.
about them then.
Way to go, Bailey.
We're not going to talk about them.
Way to go, Bailey. Wonderful topic.
Thank you. Had no idea. I thought this was going to be timely, for you. It'd be something fun to talk about. Little did I know, Madison coming in here hot with her opinions.
Oh, Judge Moody has spoken. And she wants you to enjoy your safe gender reveals. And then if you're open for some judgment, send them to us. And we will celebrate and judge you.
But safety is the priority, both for your gender reveal and for your 4th of July, because now that we mention it, it is coming up. And I forget, do we have an episode? But we probably have one episode. Either way.
We'll premiere an episode on the 4th of July.
We will, according to Moo, who is an expert on dates. And calendars.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be great.
So be so safe. Be so careful and safe in all things you do, but especially with explosives.
Please. Yes, please. Watch your kids around, even sparklers. Really easy to get burned with sparklers. Kids are so stupid. They are so dumb. And we do our best, but just tell me I'm wrong.
They're learning, humans.
They are.
Hey, my kid can't hold anything. I can't tell you that he's...
I think Bonnie would be terrified of a sparkler. Yeah. Not like we're gonna do anything to, but anyways.
Maybe you should let her hold more lighters, Moo. Maybe you should let her manage more pyrotechnics in the house.
I don't think I like your parenting advice.
Maybe let her play with the stove more often. How's she gonna learn if you don't let her actually do? People learn through experience.
Oh my god. Okay.
No.
Wonderful job, Bailey.
No. My kid's gonna juggle fire.
Finley is a budding pyromaniac.
Yes. For his first birthday, he's getting those little things that you light up and juggle.
I feel like he gets that from Andrew, though. I feel like Andrew is also fascinated by... He sets little fires all the time.
Andrew loves lighting a good fire outdoors, with twigs and wood, and he loves smoking things like meat, and yes, Andrew loves building a good fire. Yeah, it runs in the family, I think.
Yes. I think Finley looks exactly like you. I think he is going to take after Andrew in so many ways, and you should
Yes.
really be prepared for that.
Yes. Oh, I know. I do know this. Yes, I am. Gotta get my leash ready.
Yeah. We've got one. I love it. Haven't really gotten to use it, but I love that we have it.
Yes.
Well, thank you
Just
so
be
much.
prepared. Just be prepared.
Thank you so much, best friends, for joining us for another week. We're so happy to have you guys here. Bailey, you did a wonderful job.
Thanks.
We
I'm
never
Bailey.
introduced ourselves.
I'm
I'm Madison.
never once did. I'm Bailey. We're Calamity Janes, the podcast that talks about disaster, mayhem, so on and so forth, etc. Thank you for listening.
You know what? It's
we'll
fine.
See you next
Your kid
week.
is sick. I'm sick. Always. So it's fine. We're good.
We're fine. Good. It's fine. You're fine. We're fine. We love you. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.